What's up, guys? We're here at AMC Town Square with Chasing Cinema.
Mr. James Shoot.
.com, and we got a double dosage, double feature tonight.
Yes.
The Dirtiest Grandpa.
Yes, Robert De Niro and Zac Efron.
And we have the fifth wave, Chloe Moretz.
Yes.
Chloe
Grace Moretz. Yes.
Let's first talk about the Dirty
Grandpa.
Dirty.
The title we couldn't even get right last week. We didn't even know what it was called.
Bad Grandpa. Jackass.
Yeah, we said Bad Grandpa. We said Angry Grandpa. But it's
Angry
Dirty
Birds.
Grandpa. Zac Efron, Robert De Niro. There was no press screening for this movie.
It's not a good sign.
That makes me a little bit suspicious. But I'm here. I'm ready to watch it. Robert De Niro, obviously one of the greatest actors to ever grace this planet, and interesting choices as of late. Some good, some bad. You know, he's doing a lot of straight DVD stuff. I think that he's at the point where he just wants to do what he wants to do for fun. This obviously looks really out there for him and out of his element. But, you know, he looks like he's going to go for it. So, what are your expectations going into this?
Well, Zac Efron's always playing this frat dude.
Yeah.
You know, and he doesn't really take a lot of serious roles, it seems like.
Well, we're coming off Neighbors, right? Was that Zac's last movie?
That
and
sounds right.
I think we all could say that Neighbors was funny. I mean, it wasn't amazing, but it was a funny movie. You know, Zac is very hit and miss at me because I hated that awkward moment.
I didn't mind Awkward Moment.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that movie. Not that I could remember much of it at all anyway right now. But this movie looks like an interesting pairing. I mean, hopefully this movie, also starring Aubrey Plaza, is at least somewhat funny. And like,
the beautiful Julianne Hough.
Yeah, so there's something to enjoy in this movie. I'm hoping.
I love myself, Julianne Hough.
Yeah?
Beautiful.
But at this point, I don't know what to expect.
All right, how long's the movie?
About an hour and 45 minutes.
Okay, so it's not a short one.
Not a short one, but luckily not too long, so hopefully it's just perfect, you know?
All right, so let's see how dirty this grandpa is.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so we just got a Dirty Grandpa. It was okay. I was laughing. You heard me laughing?
Yeah, I heard
in our private theater with just friends and no strangers.
Yep.
Julianne Hough was very attractive.
Do you know what else she's in or what she's from?
Well, she's one of the grand champions of So You Think You Can Dance.
Okay.
She's one of the greatest dancers of all time, literally. Her brother's Derek Hough, also one of the greatest dancers. She's a country singer.
Gotcha.
Yeah, she's very attractive. Zac Efron was fine. The Robert De Niro. You know what? This movie had really bad cuts. Did you notice that?
Bad editing.
Yeah,
huh?
they had bad editing. I laughed. There's not really much to say about this movie.
What was funny?
You know, it's what you expect it to be. It's not a great movie. I don't think it's gonna win an Oscar for the 2016. I don't see a nomination. But I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed myself. I was laughing.
Well,
I can't. And my boy B.
I think that I see a nomination for this movie definitely at the end of 2016 for probably a Razzie and probably for Chasing Cinema's worst film of the year. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be because it's 10 times worse. I don't get angry about movies like this often, but I honestly would say that this is probably one of the worst films I've ever seen in my entire life. I was just done telling these gentlemen that I would rather watch Vacation, Jupiter Ascending, Unfinished Business, Mordecai, all in a row before I would sit through this travesty.
The Boy Next Door.
The Boy Next Door, I didn't even consider that bad. But I mean, like, I gave Unfinished Business and Vacation 0 stars. This would be the movie that I would give negative stars to. I'm not even going to write a review because it's not worth my time. And that's pretty harsh, you know. I really hated everything about this movie, every inch of it. I think if you want to laugh about, you know, racism and pedophilia and bestiality, then this is for you, if that's what you're into. But I'm definitely not, and I don't find anything about it funny. I find it
yeah, I mean, I wasn't laughing.
Stupid. Yeah, James. The only thing, there was laughter in the theater, and I think it was the only person it was coming from was Mr. Shu. And I laughed because he laughed. But I mean, these random 90 references. Aubrey Plaza, who is just a mess in this movie. Robert De Niro. I'll
Which
get
was Aubrey Plaza?
The girl that just wanted to have sex with Robert Downey
professor?
the entire time. Yeah,
Okay,
she has as much time as she does in the trailer. It's everything that you've seen in the trailer. It's all it is. Robert De Niro. The only thing I'll really say is that Robert De Niro he went full out on this. You know, he really kind of went with the flow and didn't really look like he held back on anything. That's not a good thing because he just needs to put it all back because it was. I mean, that experience was one of the worst experiences I've ever had in a movie theater. I'm like fuming inside, and then the movie just did not end. It just kept going and going and going and going and gotten worse and worse and worse. Honestly, the biggest waste of my hour and 40 minutes of my life. A lot of people expecting The Fifth Wave not to be very good. You could see our review up here on the white dots around there. It's not very good, but I would say you could watch this movie and pay for it 10 times over than ever watching this film again. Awful, god awful. I've seen a lot of movies in my life, and it was probably the worst film I've ever seen in my entire life ever.
In the history of life.
Yeah.
In the history.
Let me tell you how I really feel.
And you've seen a lot of movies.
I've seen a lot of movies, man. And you know, I tried to do my best to be very forgiving, but honestly, this movie was just awful. Awful, awful, awful. I didn't notice the bad edit you were talking about, probably because I was closing my eyes and just hoping that it would just all end. I honestly just asked, where am I watching this movie because of how awful it is. And you know me, I try to give constructive criticism. I try not to be too harsh, but I hated this movie. I'll quote Roger Ebert. I hated this movie. Hated this movie. This is easily the worst film I've ever seen.
Well, I didn't feel that way, but it's not a good movie.
Woof.
But it wasn't the worst. But I was laughing, and Zac Efron, you know, he's funny and.
This movie only tells me one thing, is that the worst is over. Because there, for the life of me, it would kill me to see something as bad as this, ever. So hopefully everything is just not as bad. The trailer lineup we had honestly offered one movie that I wanted to see. Everything else looked pretty bad.
What about the cat one?
Yeah,
Keanu?
that's the one I want to see. I think that one's the only one with any real merit. But
Keen and Peele.
Yeah.
They're funny guys.
But there's a few things maybe that, you know, obviously Deadpool is the one that's going to do big, but yeah. Dirty Grandpa, god awful.
Okay. So yeah, Fifth Wave is already online, so you can check that review out with Chloe Grace Moretz.
It's a much happier review.
That beautiful girl. And next week, in 7 days, we'll be back.
Kung Fu Panda 3.
Poe is back.
And The Finest Hours.
And The Finest Hours, the Walt
Disney's
Disney.
with Chris Pine. Yes.
Okay.
So hopefully we'll have a better week next week. I can guarantee it because nothing will be as bad as what we just saw.
Okay, so Dirty Grandpa doesn't sound like a winner.
No, not at all. Worst movie ever.
Okay, and ChasingCinema.com's the
Film Lovers website.